Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It is Wednesday, July 26th, also known as a very important day here in Jill on Money Land. It's Mark's birthday. So, Mark, happy birthday. How are you?
Why, thank you. I am doing well, yes. Another year older, another year wiser, they say?
I hope so for you. You know, how wise can you be if you're sticking around with me? Can't be that good. But anyway, I appreciate you and I celebrate you. And we're recording this before your birthday, but at 5 o'clock, something should be in your email inbox that's interesting, perhaps, if it worked. And other than that, it's just a day, but it should be a day of celebration. And I feel really happy to have you in my life. So I'm going to celebrate you and your birthday. So hooray for Mark. Yay.
Why, thank you. I told Amanda, I said the Carvel Cake better show up.
The Carvel Cake is a biggie. You know, so we're going to a friend's house for dinner for one of Jackie's many birthday celebrations for the weekend. And I said to my friend, Carvel Cake, right? I mean, Louise, you got to hook us up with a cake. She goes, of course. She literally said, well, you're like, duh, what else would I get? Like one of those dopey expensive cakes? I don't think so. So yeah, we're going to have Carvel Cake all weekend. I'm very excited. I'm going to the doctor for my annual today. So I figured I was going to be really good right up until this point. But then for the weekend, I'm cleared out. Are you a Leo? You're a Leo, right?
Yeah.
I got a lot of Leos in my life. You, Jackie, my sister. Very important people to me. I don't know anything about astrology, so I'll have to look into this.
We are a pride of lions.
You are a pride of lions. Exactly right. All right. This is the program that celebrates Mark Talercio, best producer in the world, and also attempts to answer your financial questions, even though dogs are barking in the background. It always happens.
Is that Trixie and Charlie saying happy birthday?
That is them singing, actually. It's amazing. You hear them? It's like happy birthday to you in dog. Anyway, if you've got a financial question, go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the contact us button. Don't forget to let us know if you'd be willing to come on the air. And also, while you're there, you can subscribe to Jill on Money Live. That's where you have access to quarterly live webinars and lots of cool bonus content. Very exciting. All right. So let's do some emails. Got to get through this stuff. Mark says the inbox is bulging. And this is from Jeff, who says he enjoys the program. And he says he wants to know where he stands for his goal of retiring at age 62. He's 57, so we got 5 years, single, no dependents. He lives in Virginia. He works as a social worker. He makes about $100,000 a year, and he owns his townhouse outright. All right, here's what he's got. $770,000 in a 457 account, and he contributes the maximum, including the catch-up every year, so $30,000 now. He's got another $770,000, just a coincidence, he writes, in Roth IRAs. So he's got $1.5 million. He says, I have both a county and state pension. Oh my God. Mark, this is incredible. So the state will pay him $3,068 a month if he retires at 62. County pension would be about $1,580 per month. I mean, already I'm excited about this guy's plans. I almost want to say, you know, how is he doing? I'm like, okay, you're done. We're all good. But maybe he spends a ton of money. So we'll have to see. But right now, again, the two pensions together, $4,650 a month. All right. He also has taxable brokerage accounts. He's got $44,000 in emergency reserves, $54,000 in liquid assets for a car, vacation, home maintenance, no debt, pays off his credit card every month. He's got estate documents. He says his expenses right now are $5,000 a month. He's going to have most of that in pension income, right? $4,650. It'll be taxable, but I get it. And he says he will be also able to collect Social Security when he retires, but he's going to have to pay his own health insurance until he's 65. Is this enough for me to retire at 62? Mark, shall we say it together? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
He says if he works longer, his 457 would have a higher valuation. His pension and Social Security payments would increase. No big expenditures. He'd like to travel more for a few years when he retires. He says, when I put the data in the retirement calculator at work, it's telling me I'll be fine. It's scary to go from saving to spending. All right, listen, Jeff, calm down. You got plenty of money. He wants to know about, so I don't even know what to tell you except that you're fine, you're great, you've saved a lot of money, and you're good to go. He gave us his allocation. He's got mutual funds and exchange traded funds, Vanguard and T. Rowe Price, which is fantastic. He says most of his money in his 457 is in a 2035 retirement fund. I don't know. I don't love that for you, to be honest with you. I mean, it's fine. But that means he's got $770,000 in one 2035 retirement fund. What do you think, Mark?
That doesn't bother me that much, but just looking at what the breakdown that he provided, it is pretty aggressive considering that he's getting, he's approaching retirement.
I think what he's saying, though, that the 457 plan, that 2035 fund, is 30% large cap, 25% international, 70. It's like a very aggressive. If it's 2035, I don't know. I feel like that's an aggressive outlook.
Maybe switch to like a 2020 fund.
Yeah, maybe pull it in a little bit. I don't even know. Like, why not just put some in stock index, bond index, and international index? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to do it.
I also got the sense that he may be planning on taking Social Security when he retires at 62. I don't think he has to do that. If I was him, I would get some of this money out before RMDs.
I agree. This is from Ron. He wanted to ask about my article in the Chicago Tribune about the economy producing 200,000 jobs in June. How is this number derived? Is it a net figure or is it actually jobs that did not exist in the past? The article identifies quits. All right, this is a big question. So let me just be clear. So statistically, there is the number of the jobs created comes from the survey to businesses, right? How many jobs did you fill? How many people did you hire? Okay. And so, yeah, that number is a net number. The quits number is a different survey. It's from the Job Opening and Labor Turnover Survey. He wants to set up a hypothetical. And so he says, if a person who quits and has a new job to go to, is that considered a new job that the economy produced? So the answer is that because these are two different surveys, they're not like, it's not parallel. So here's how he says, if a person who quits and has a new job to go to, is that considered a new job that the economy produced? The answer is yes, but they're totally different metrics because the quits has a lag time of a month. So if Mark quits being the executive producer of Jill on Money and then goes to become an executive producer at Gimlet Media, he is counted as a quit. And then if he takes a new job, that is a job that was filled by that company. So they're kind of different. So I think that a lot of the jobs data and what Ronald is bringing up is in fact a little bit weird because a lot of the jobs data is like job openings. You can have a job opening that's listed in Chicago, in San Francisco, in New York. It's basically the same job because maybe it's a remote job, but I think it counts as 3 job openings. And that's the kind of thing that's weird to me. All of these data points, what happens is they will converge and create a trend. But in any given month, it can be very weird and you can have a lot of distortion. So it's a little noisy. Here, you know what? The labor market is cooling down a little bit. This big article about how many of the jobs that are being filled as those summer jobs that were so hard to fill in the past. Guess what, Mark? As soon as immigration opened up and COVID kind of retreated, we had a flow of people who wanted those jobs again. It's amazing, isn't it? Shocking. All right. This is from Melissa. I'm 51 years young and ready to retire. 51 and want to retire. Interesting. She thinks she's on the right path. She's got an IRA. It's got $30,000. She really didn't learn a lot about this stuff till her 40s. She has humble beginnings. She amassed debt. And then she said, I had a small windfall through a lawsuit and I eliminated school loans and a car loan. Spouse and I have a home loan, 3.5%, $160,000 on a house that's worth $500,000. She makes $130,000. She gets a 5 to 10% increase raise this month. That's good. She contributes 6% to her retirement plan, 100% match, meaning up to 6% on this. She maxes out her Roth 457, which is great, $20,500. It's only her second year being positioned to do that. She says, I do expect to be in a lower tax bracket in retirement. Why? If you're absolutely going to be in a lower tax bracket and you really know that, then you would choose to be in a traditional. But how do we know that you're really going to be in a lower tax bracket? By the way, she also has brokerage account, emergency funds, about $500,000. It's pretty amazing.
A lot of people think they're going to be in lower tax brackets when they retire. They just assume, oh, I'm not working, my tax bracket's going to go down. But that's not always the case. I mean, there's, all this money is going to continue to grow. She's eventually, I'm assuming, going to have Social Security. She didn't mention anything about a pension, but she has a 457, so I'm not sure. I don't know. It's a roll of the dice. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to hedge your bets, you know what you would do? You would just split it. But I'd love to know more. Can you follow up with us, Melissa? Okay, Rosanna.
And this is because remember last week we had a bad review about the Hyundai Ioniq. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
I felt like I had to even out the playing field.
Okay, so here we go. Mark wanting to be a people pleaser from way back. Okay, so hi, Jill and Mark. I just listened to the podcast with the excerpt from The Car Expert. And to give you an update, I traded in my Subaru and I bought the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Okay, all caps. I love this car, and I usually don't love things. I got a really great trade-in value for my old car. Hyundai offered a $33,750 rebate to make up for the fact that the Ioniq 5 is not included in the federal tax program, the tax credit program for EVs. The car is zippy. It's comfortable. I purchased it in the beginning of May. We already have 7,000 miles on it. Mark, by the way, my Mini Cooper has 6,000 miles on it to 2014. We installed a level 2 charger at home. It's very convenient. Our electric bill is only increased by $10. I do have a car payment now. It's not great, but the upgrade in performance has been worth it. I recommend the Ioniq 5 for those in the market for an EV, and I will be signing up for your premium service. Thank you, Rosanna. Mark, I'll tell you what, after that, I got spooked by that guy who wrote in after the negative.
That's why I feel like we had to include this one.
I mean, you can get a lemon no matter what, right? I remember early on, so I only buy used cars. So this one would not be a used car, but early on, I bought like this car off the lot on December 30th. I was a hard bargainer. I called up Quincy. I texted Quincy from the dealership. He's like, this is what you should offer. And he told me exactly how to do it. And it's great. Early on, I remember there was like a worry that there was a squeak. Someone said to me, that those cars, they have these terrible brakes. They squeak, squeak, squeak. And I went to the dealer and I'm like, what about the squeak? He goes, well, if it squeaks now, then you're done for. It's like, you've got it for the rest of your life. If not, don't worry. And it was never a squeaker. So thank goodness. I figure I will be buying an EV, but I'm probably not going to do it for at least a year, maybe 2. I want to make sure that all these kinks are worked out. And by the way, I hear the repairs for these cars are insanely expensive, Mark. Like you're used to your car. If you take it, how often have you ever taken your car into the shop?
I just take it in for the regular maintenance. That's all.
And it's like really cheap, right?
Yeah. How much can an oil change be?
Exactly right. Let me tell you what I spent on the Mini Cooper. I had to buy a new battery after, so many years and 6,000 miles. And I spent $100 on oil changes. That's it. The other car, I have to maintain it, but it's like $1,000 a year, I figure, in general for the maintenance. And I'm going to drive that sucker into the ground. And hopefully, then between now and the time I get rid of it, then I'll have a great EV and the repairs will get cheaper and cheaper. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. All right. Listen, this has been a pleasure. It is Mark's birthday. Send him lots of birthday greetings. Send him kisses. Send him pictures. Tell him that you want him to keep doing this for as long as he's willing to put up with me because I really need him. Anyway, if you would like to come join us on the program, just go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and check the box that says you would come on the air. Don't forget, you can buy my book, The Great Money Reset. You can sign up for the free weekly newsletter. You can subscribe to Jill on Money Live. All those things right there. Also, don't forget to lift someone up. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.